Hi! Welcome back to my channel. I am your favorite girl, Bougie Vintage, and today's video is a life update, baby update, pregnancy update, all of that. You guys have been messaging me on whatever platform you can reach me on to ask when you're going to get this and that and the third, and so I'm here to give you guys just that. To start, I think I'll start with the baby update because I have two little ones driving me crazy. Salem and Belle are 15 months apart, and I think I'll start with Miss Salem. As you guys know, she's obviously fully potty trained at this point. She actually just turned 3, so yay, happy birthday, Salem. She just turned 3 on the 7th, and you know, they say terrible 3s is worse than terrible 2s, and I believe it, especially because now she can communicate more, a lot more. She talks so much, but she is developing really well. She's really happy. She has her areas where she gives me hard times in. Like she used to obviously do baby tries. Now she's a little bit more on the picky side. Everything is ew, yucky, which I don't know where she got that from. I don't know why she started saying ew, yucky to everything, but she loves pizza. Chat, order Domino's. I order Domino's sometimes, and this kid will scarf down so many slices of pizza. It doesn't even make sense. I'm like, where are you putting it? Because she's so tiny. Like, she's so skinny. But yeah, she really loves pizza. And the other day, I was actually going to run some errands. Or actually, I was just going to the grocery store. She told me to bring her back pizza. So I'm like, okay, I'll just stop at Little Caesars because I'm not going to go buy a whole ass, like, big pizza from somewhere else when I'm about to cook dinner. But it was around lunchtime, so I thought she just wanted pizza, but she actually said pizza toy, but I didn't know that. And so I went and I got Little Caesars and I brought it home for her, and she lost it. She threw a whole fit because I brought her pizza, an actual pizza, when she wanted a pizza toy. So you know those like food toys that you would have in like a play kitchen? She has a play kitchen, but we don't have we didn't have the fruits and the vegetables and the pizza. So I come home and she's losing it because I brought home a real pizza instead of a toy pizza. Go figure. I'm like, shoot, I would have been happy with the real pizza, honey. She wanted a fake pizza. And so I guess she had seen it on YouTube or something, and that's why she asked me for it. Because I'm like, where am I gonna get a pizza toy? So I ended up coming home, getting on Amazon, showing her the Amazon account and telling her that I'll order it. And she's like, and the mailman's gonna come? And I'm like, yes, the mailman is gonna come and drop off your pizza toy. So then after we resolved that issue, she proceeded to eat the Little Caesars. Okay, so it wasn't that she didn't want the pizza, she just wanted a pizza toy, but she's not gonna turn down pizza. Nobody's turning down pizza. Not me. Not my kids. Okay, pizza is bae. I guess that's just a glimpse into the mind of Salem. It's her way or the highway. She's very manipulative, this child, and lucky for me, because I am a stubborn person by nature, her tactics don't work on me. And so that makes her even more frustrated. But I see her trying to manipulate her sister a lot. They get along, but Salem tends to want whatever her sister has. So Belle can be playing with something, and then Salem decides that she wants it, even though she's playing with something entirely different. And Salem will then try to give Belle the toy that she has to take the toy that Belle has. And I'm just like, Salem, please, like, leave Belle. And then Belle's freaking out. Belle bites, Belle punches, Belle kicks. Belle fights. She might be a little tiny one, but she sure is feisty. So sometimes they get into it, but most of the time it's real lovey-dovey between them. I show them on Snapchat sometimes. When they wake up in the morning, first thing they do is like hug and like look for each other if one is up before the other. Give me a second. I'm sweating profusely. I opened the window so I wouldn't be sweating like a pig or a horse. Salem has a lot of little habits we're trying to break early. And that's definitely one of them. We're always having to explain to her that you can't bully. You can't just take what other people have or try to give them what you feel is then lesser. And it can literally be the same thing that they are playing with, but in different colors, and there'll still be an issue about it. So I find that when I go shopping for them, I either buy the same exact thing so that there's no fight or something that's very similar. That's the thing about having kids, y'all. Well, with me at least, I don't buy for one and not buy for the other because it's just drama, okay? Just drama. So my kids are a little spoiled in that sense, but it is what it is. I mean, it ain't tricking if you got it. Obviously, like I said in the beginning, she's potty trained. She talks a lot. She loves to cook. She loves to be a mommy. Like, she loves to take care of her babies, like her dolls, and of course her sister. She's a very loving kid. Like, that's one thing I really love about her, and she's so appreciative when you get her something or do something for her. She's always telling me that I'm so sweet. This girl will compliment you till she is blue in the face, until you are just melted down to your core. Like, she's a super duper cool kid. And sorry, I'm being nosy. I'm looking at my neighbors. I don't want them to be looking at me, looking up here, trying to find out where that voice is coming from. So yeah, she's a super cool kid, super loving. I can't say that she's a mommy's girl. She's definitely a daddy's girl. That's another issue that we're really struggling with, because it's like her dad can't even go have a shower if he's on his like days off or whatever, and she wants to hang out with him for the days that she has him. She's very, very clingy and possessive over him, and he can't even go do something small without her throwing a hissy fit about that. And then like bedtime too, like putting them to sleep is a whole Olympic sport. But on the days that her dad is with her, she wants him to put her to sleep, and she's not taking no for an answer. So that's not a me problem, that's a them problem. She's a very unique child, let's say that. Something else that I want to say that she loves to do. Oh, obviously she loves to paint nails. She loves to help clean up, but she doesn't like to clean up her toys, which it's neither here nor there. She likes to like unpack the dishwasher. She likes to help put stuff in the dishwasher. She likes to she likes to help with laundry. She likes to do stuff around the house, but she doesn't, like when we tell them to clean up the basement because their toys are everywhere, sometimes it's an issue. So I don't get it, but it is what it is. But she's not as bad as Belle in that department. If you tell Belle to do something where cleaning is concerned, she acts like she cannot hear you. She acts like you're speaking Japanese. Belle will just continue doing what she's doing, going here, there, and everywhere, doing everything but picking up her toys, until you put her in timeout. And then she decides that she's going to listen. And so those are skills that we're working on with both of them right now. Listening, because I'll give you an example. Last night, Salem wanted something before bed. I can't remember what it was. And the answer was no. So she decided that she's going to lay horizontally on the bed instead of vertically. And so usually when I'm putting them to bed, though they have their own separate beds, I put them to sleep in the same bed because I like sing to them and like I read to them and all this stuff. So we usually sleep in Belle's bed. Not we, but I usually put them to sleep in Belle's bed. And so she's laying horizontally across Belle's bed, and I tell her, Sayla, move. You know, move to where you usually sleep so mommy can get in the middle. No. Okay. So I'm like, Salem, you need to move because I need to put you guys to sleep now. And she again told me no. And so I said, okay, no big deal. I'm just gonna go sleep in your bed. So Belle had already actually climbed into her sister's bed. So I went over there to lay in that bed. And Salem loses it. She's like, no, mommy, come lay in the other bed, come lay in the other bed. And I'm like, Salem, no. You didn't listen to me when I told you to move over. I asked you more than once and you didn't move. Like literally I talked to her like she is, I don't know, 10 because she has the vocabulary and the understanding to have a full conversation. So I just talked to her like that. I said, no, I told you to do this, or I asked you to do this, you didn't do it, and now we're here. And so she's freaking out. So I said, get into your bed. Come and lay down in your bed. She's freaking out, telling me to let's go to the other bed. I said, I'm not going over to the other bed. So then Belle ends up crawling out of Salem's bed. Belle ends up crawling out of Salem's bed, going over into her bed. And then she lays down, she pulls the cover on herself because they're both extremely tired, and that was a part of the issue. They were really, really tired, and I was actually putting them to bed earlier because they didn't nap yesterday, so they're exhausted and losing their minds. I end up getting out of Salem's bed because she would not stop crying and carrying on, and I stood in the middle of the room because their beds are adjacent to each other. So I stood in the middle of the room and I tell her, I'm not getting in your bed, and I say, Belle, I'm not getting in your bed. Belle crawls out of her bed and wants me to hold her to put her to sleep, which is normal. So I'm holding her. Salem's still freaking out, telling me to lay down in her bed. And I'm like, Salem, let me explain something to you. I asked you to do something. Mommy asked you to do something and you told mommy no. Mommy asked you again and you told her no again. So now that you didn't listen to me, I'm not listening to you. And she didn't say anything else. She didn't cry or whatever because she understands, you know. I said to both of them, I'm not sleeping in either one of your beds. Belle said she wanted to lay down after after I had rocked her a bit. She said she wanted to lay back down, so I put her to lay back down. And I sat on the side of her bed, and Belle is then telling me to lay down. I said, no, Belle, I'm not laying down in anybody's bed. I will sit here and I will sing to you until you fall asleep. Salem, you too. And then they ended up falling asleep like that. Actually, Salem didn't fall asleep. I thought she was sleeping. Belle was asleep. I thought Salem was asleep. I inched to move to get off of Belle's bed, and Salem is like, no, mommy, don't leave. And I'm like, Chad, I thought you was asleep. So then I ended up having to go sit on her bed and sing to her until she fell asleep. Because I have the voice of an angel, darling. I'm kidding, I really don't. So I sang to her until she fell asleep, and then I left the room and I was like, oh my God. Like, they take the energy right out of me, child. I had to like regather my thoughts once I leave the room if they're acting that way. And it's not like that every night, but some nights are worse than others, and that's just what it is. Last night was trouble though. It was trouble. That's a little bit of what it's like to raise a 3-year-old, I guess, and a 2-year-old at the same time. Well, Belle's not 2 yet. She'll be 2 in May, but she's already in that terrible 2 stage. There's no denying it. There's no hiding it. She's in the terrible 2 stage, and she's in the middle of potty training. So in the daytime, she doesn't wear diapers, and she uses the toilet, and I give rewards for going on the potty. I think Salem was much easier to train than Belle has been. But with Salem, I was using Kinder Surprise to potty train her, and then basically after that, I had to kind of wean her off of the Kinder Surprises because she associated obviously it with going to the bathroom, but then it was like when she wasn't using the bathroom, she still wanted to get a Kinder Surprise, and I was like, too much sweets. So I basically had to wean her off of that the same way I had to wean her off the titty. Okay, which brings me to Belle. Belle is actually weaned, so she does not have any more milk for me, because once I got pregnant, it became really, really difficult for me to nurse Belle, and it was just so like excruciating pain, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I weaned her cold turkey. It was very easy. I think she was ready to come off. She was easier to wean than Salem was. Like with Salem actually had asked me for bishi or bougie, which is what they call boobs. She had asked me for it like long after I had weaned her, but I think it was because she was seeing her sister still nurse. And so with Belle never has asked me since I've weaned her. I think she was ready to come off, and so it was an amicable breakup. I didn't really have time to kind of go through like the emotional, I guess, changes of not nursing anymore. Your hormones change when you are nursing, or what your hormones change when you're pregnant, after you give birth, when you're nursing, and when you stop nursing. Like your hormones are always like all over the place. And so with Belle, I didn't really experience that, whereas with Salem I kind of did, especially because she was so traumatized once I weaned her. So yeah, Belle is weaned. Belle is potty training, not potty trained, and this time around I'm not using Kinder Surprise because it's too big. So what I've done is gone and got Cadbury mini eggs, because, well, really, they're for me, but I'm sharing them with Belle, and I kind of switch it up. So some days I'll give them a marshmallow, or her a marshmallow. Other days I will give her just one mini egg, and she'll get the reward as she uses. So she uses the toilet to pee, I give her a mini egg. If she uses the toilet to pee and poo, I give her 2 mini eggs. And of course Salem is benefiting from Bellamy going to the bathroom because that's just what it is. As long as Belle uses the toilet, I don't really have a potty. It doesn't make sense to buy a potty, by the way. If you're a first-time mom, don't buy a potty. Just use the toilets, okay? Don't let them fall in. So 2 mini eggs for poop, 1 mini egg for pee. And she definitely is still having accidents, but when you're potty training, you have to constantly be saying, okay, Belle, come use the bathroom, or Belle, do you need to use the washroom? She'll tell you yes or no. Sometimes she lies. Sometimes she lies, but most of the time we catch it and are able to put her on. Or sometimes I have to literally tell her, okay, Belle, if you go and pee for mommy, then I'll give you a marshmallow, just to get her in the habit of using the toilet. I don't know what methods people use to potty train, but the methods that I use seem to work. So that's just what I'm doing. Belle is definitely a foodie. She does not refuse food. She does not play about her food. If we sit down at the table for dinner, she will box her food off, and Salem will be like not eating or distracted by her iPad or whatever it is, and Bella is there not playing about her food. Then again, it depends on what it is. So like my kids really love Jamaican food. They love oxtail. They love rice and peas. But Bella's funny with the rice and peas. Like she'll pick the peas out of the rice. She really loves beans. So she'll pick the peas out of the rice, and then sometimes she'll eat the rice, sometimes she won't. They love ackee and saltfish. They love dumpling. They love helping my mom make dumpling. Girl, I could babble about my kids all freaking day long and tell you guys all these things about them. They're super duper cute and cool, chat. Cute. My kids are so cool. They're so fun to be around. Sometimes they drive me a little crazy, but I mean, that's all a part of being a mom. Like, it is what it is. Belle, I would say, is a lot more independent. Like, she doesn't want you to help her do anything, and then she gets frustrated, and then you're like, do you want me to help you now? And she's like, And I'm like, well, we could have avoided all of this drama. Like, let me help you put your pants on. Let me help you put your shoes on. Like, she doesn't want the help, though. And I think I was very much like that when I was a baby as well. She doesn't really, she prefers to be independent. Like, you'll find Belle go off and do her own thing, and then her sister will go and harass her or like interrupt what she's doing, and Belle will get upset about it because Belle's like, I just want my me time and you're not giving me my me time. But other times they're chasing each other around the house. Salem is taking care of Belle and pretending she's a baby. And there's a game that they've been playing that I don't like. And please let me know in the comments if your kids play this too, if you have to. They play puppy, and Salem is basically the dog owner and Belle is the puppy, or Salem will be the puppy and Belle is the dog owner, and they act like a puppy. But one day I saw Belle playing fetch. Child, I saw them playing fetch. Salem threw a ball, and it wasn't that Belle went to go get the ball. What bothered me is Belle was trying to pick the ball up with her mouth. I said, no, you're not an actual puppy. I mean, I get it's like imaginative play and all that stuff, but like, is this normal? Do other kids play? Because I did not play puppy and human. We didn't play this. So I don't know what's going on in 2020, 2021. But my kids are playing this game and I don't like it. I don't know if they saw it on YouTube either. That's the thing. They only have kids YouTube on their iPads, and I don't know if they saw it on there while they're doing it, but they do it a lot. Or if it's because Mushu came and like they're trying to like relive Mushu's being here. I don't know, but it's weird. Other than that though, they're thriving, surviving the pandemic, and I'm so glad that I was able to create a space for them in the house that they can play at, because right now we're in a 28-30 day whatever shutdown from like Christmas time, and they can't go outside really and play. They went in the snow once, like outside the house, but like they can't go to the park, they can't do anything like that, they can't interact with other people. And so I've been able to create a space in the basement for them that they love to hang out in. They're down there right now actually, and yeah, it's been pretty dope raising them. The other thing, I guess this is a bit of a story time. So one day shortly after we moved in. My mom and I were upstairs in the morning time, and we were kind of discussing how it makes us nervous when we let the kids go downstairs by themselves, because you just never know what they're gonna get into. Even if you think you put all the stuff away that could possibly or potentially cause a problem, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So long story short, that's the conversation we had in the morning. By afternoon time, for whatever reason, we didn't take that nudge from the Holy Spirit. And we were like, you know what? It's midday. Like, let's start your nails, girl. So I started my mom's nails, and the girls sounded like they were having a mighty old good time in the basement. And Salem is giggling. Like, she's giggling so she's giggling like crazy. And so me and my mom were like, what is going on down there? Like, we thought they were just having fun, you know, because usually it's when your kids get quiet that they're causing trouble, not when they're giggling profusely. From the time the giggling started, I would say, till when it ended, I would say it was 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes. Giggling starts, the giggling stops. And then Belle had made her way up the stairs, and she stood in front of my office, but Belle is like tiny. So, I couldn't see her, but Belle makes this noise when she wants you to notice her. And this is the day that I learned that she makes this noise when she wants you to notice her. And Belle was like, just this little tiny. And so I didn't pay attention to it the first time, but then she was still stood there after she realized me and my mom didn't like acknowledge her, right? She was still standing there. So when she realized we didn't acknowledge her, she made the noise again, but she didn't step into my office. So because she made the noise a second time, I'm like, let me peek over my mom's shoulder and see what's going on back here. Could I see my child? Could I see her? Head to toe, this child was covered in white paint, not acrylic paint, not finger paint, globs and globs of paint from a can. That I still haven't told the moving story, so when I tell the moving in story, this will make a lot more sense. Fact of the matter is, somebody, a worker, did not close the can of paint properly, and we didn't know that, obviously. And the kids got into it. I couldn't see Belle's skin, you guys. Like, literally, it's a miracle it didn't get into her eyes or her mouth, because just covered. I couldn't see not one piece of Belle's skin. There's little tiny white footprints all over the floor from the basement to my office. And when I saw her, I didn't even, like, most people, I think in this day and age, will pull out their phone right away and like take a picture. I have no evidence of this, because my brain right away was this, what the hell? Like, how do we fix this? This is crazy. So obviously I realized that's why Salem was giggling, because she was covering her sister in paint and her sister was allowing it, and they were having a mighty old good time in the basement. So my mom picks up Belle, brings Belle to like the laundry area to do the to rinse her off in the sink. And I'm pretty sure she struggled with, okay, should I bring her upstairs? Should I bring her to like, what do I do here? Kitchen? No, it's gonna make too much a mess, so let me bring her to the laundry room. So my mom brings her into the laundry room and she starts washing her off in the sink. I go downstairs and there is paint from like, I can't really explain that. So you go downstairs, there's like a little like entryway, and then there's a French door, and there's like the basement, and there's paint everywhere. Like a huge pile of paint on the floor. It looked like they were swimming in it. And so I'm like emotionally distraught. I'm so stressed out. I'm like, really? Well, is this for real? And I see Salem is standing over, there's little feet prints and handprints all over or footprints, sorry, all over the floor. And I see Salem is standing on, like, we had like a lawn chair or like a garden chair down in the basement, and Salem's standing on there. There's handprints and footprints on that as well, and she's also covered in paint. Not as much as Belle, which is how we know that she obviously covered her sister in it. But the fact of the matter was, I'm like, how did they even get this stupid paint can open? Well, obviously it wasn't closed properly, because usually to open a can of paint you have to put like a screwdriver or a flathead and pop it up. But they didn't have to do that. And so, oh girl, it was high stress, very high stress. And so me and my mom are losing it. We're freaking out. We're like, what the hell? What are we gonna do? They got in so much trouble that day. After they both ended up having a little bath in the sink downstairs. And then I believe after that, I put them to nap. And I'm like, I had to go pray, child. I had to say, no, because honestly, I don't know what many parents would do in that situation, but you just have to act fast, think fast, be happy the kids are okay, but you have to figure out a way to discipline them too without it being violent. Because some people would take it there, but my head when that happened was just like, I literally had to sit there and explain to them what was wrong with the situation, and neither one of them that day, nobody gave me a fight. They understood that they were in trouble because I had brought Belle upstairs. Once my mom had washed her off, I had brought Belle upstairs to lay on the sink to comb the paint out of her hair, and she was quiet the whole time, like she knew something was wrong. And so when we were putting them to sleep, they didn't give any trouble. That's my little story time. So now we've like baby proofed the basement, but even still, like, we won't even let them go down there if nobody's down there, because I actually have to cut both of their hair short because Salem climbed up on something and got a pair of scissors and cut her hair and her sister's hair. So now Belle looks like Ringo and Salem has a short haircut. But I actually really like Belle's haircut. It's very pixie, it's very cute, it suits her. Salem's hair was so long, like the day before she cut it the first time when we lived at the other place. Her hair was so long, and I had just taken a picture like from behind of how long her hair was. I was extending her curls, and now it's short. It's a short little fro. So, I mean, that's that on that, really. Other than that, they're pretty good kids, but they will test you if you let them. I find that they bounce off each other a lot, which is very stressful at times, because it's like, that's actually why I started giving them separate nap times, because I find that when I put one to sleep and have one awake, they don't act the same way. And I also find that if two adults are present versus one adult, they don't act so crazy either. I mean the opposite of that. If there's one parent, one grandparent, they act normal. But the minute that there's two parents, or me and my mom, or their other grandma and my mom, like if there's two adults in the room, they start going berserk. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sure I'm forgetting to mention stuff about Belle, but I think I've given you guys the most important details about her. Oh, she's talking. She talks a lot, but not very clear just yet. But she understands everything. She responds to everything. She asks for stuff when she needs it. Yeah, her language is definitely developing. I think I have to look like at an old video to see where Salem was at the same amount of months, because Belle's about 20 months now, and I think Salem might have been a little bit more advanced where speech is concerned. But yeah, that's pretty much that on that. And now now we can talk about the third baby. So if you are not up to date, yes, I'm pregnant. Yes, I'm due in like, what is it, 6 weeks? And the person that won the giveaway, I responded to her, but I haven't checked to see if she responded to me yet to tell me how to contact her. But she guessed the correct gender and my due date. So my due date is technically March 14th, but the baby will come before. And I'm having a girl. Another girl, 3P, hey! So I actually am super duper grateful that I'm having another girl, because I don't know what to do with no boy baby. Okay, I really don't. I am not like, how do I explain this? So obviously, okay, mentally I'm there. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to be a mom of 3. But like, there's still a part of me that's not realizing the urgency of this. Like, the next video I film should probably be packing my hospital bag, because I haven't even moved to pack it. I don't know if it's COVID, I don't know what it is, the shutdown, the lockdown, but I have not gone out and got what I need for the hospital stay, because it's completely different this time around from what my doctor told me. That was my concern. So basically how my doctor explained it to me was that when you go to the hospital and you're in labor, you get checked, obviously. They're gonna see how far dilated I am, and then they will admit me. The problem is I live way further than I did before from the hospital that I'm delivering at. And so based on how my last birthing experience went, I don't want that same issue where I get to the hospital too late, right? Because the more babies you have, the quicker they come out. And I ain't got time for all that. I'm not trying to deliver the baby like on the highway. I should actually watch my tongue right now with what I'm saying, because the power of the tongue. But like, really, the way she explained it to me was that you go to the hospital, once they admit you, then your support person can come up. Until then though, your support person cannot come into the hospital because of COVID. So I'm gonna be on my solo dolo. I don't know who's gonna wheel me up the damn the damn thing to the where I need to be, but it's kind of scary going into a situation like that where we're alone until they say that your partner or whoever is coming with you to the hospital can come and be with you. She also told me once you guys are there, you cannot leave, not for a snack, not for ice, child, nothing. You cannot leave, again, because of COVID. So basically she said, bring a cooler with your snacks and your drinks and whatever food you want, because you won't be able to order food in, and you won't be able to go and get food and come back. If you leave, that's it. So I should really be getting my life in order, and in terms of packing for the hospital, not just my snacks obviously, but also my hospital bag, because I think I could have sworn she said something about 3 days, and I'm like, 3 days? She said pack for 3 days just to be safe. That would mean clothes for me, clothes for baby, clothes for support person, and toiletries and stuff. And then on top of that, I also need to go and get like my Depends and stuff, because you know I don't wear the hospital pad thingies, so I just put on a diaper, child. But yeah, it's totally weird to have to give birth during a time like this. Like, I never thought I'd see the day that this is what's going on. But that's what it is. So I am having another girl. She has a name already. She been had a name from the time that we found out what we were having. We had a name for a boy picked out from a long time ago, but like, I knew I wasn't gonna have no boy, child. I knew I wasn't having a boy. So I'm happy to have my third girl coming in. And after I give birth, I'm going on birth control. Which is crazy, because I'm like totally against it after my experience with it back in 2013, which is when I stopped taking birth control, and then I never got pregnant until I wanted to get pregnant. But then ever since that wanting to get pregnant the first time, I have been able to control that. And so God's plan, right? But I'm gonna try to go back on tricycline low, I think, because that's the only birth control that didn't really bother me. The only thing it did was extend my period, which I don't like, because I'm used to having a 4-day period, but it was extending me to 7, which sucked. The reason I'm not gonna get an IUD, somebody actually suggested IUD to me. The reason I'm not getting an IUD is because my sister got pregnant with one in, and my mom got pregnant with me because her IUD got lost somewhere in space. And they ended up having to like do a little surgery on her to find the IUD, and then I ended up coming whoop whoop. I wasn't taking no for an answer, clearly. So, you know, when God plans stuff in your life, you just gotta go with it. Like, I'm pretty sure my sister was not planning on getting pregnant when she had IUD, but they didn't work, okay? So, well, for the fertile people in my family. So, yeah, I'm gonna go back on birth control until my partner gets a vasectomy, because I refuse to tie my tubes. I did all the hard work with carrying and stuff, and who knows, might change my mind. I might decide to just go for 4 since I'm at 3 already, you know, but not right now. Child. It has to just be before 30 though. That's what I will say. I'm not, after 30, it's a no-go. No. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. Is there anything else about my pregnancy? Pregnancy update. Lightning crotch is real. I've been experiencing it for a long time. My hips hurt. I feel like I have to like do like physiotherapy every time I get out of my bed. Like I have to like relearn how to walk every single morning. It's really frustrating. With this pregnancy, I was sick almost the entire time, which was different than the other two because once I hit second trimester with Salem and Bellamy, the sickness stopped. With this baby, the last time I threw up was probably like a week and a half ago, and so she's a troublesome girl, this one. With this baby, I'm definitely sicker with the other two, and with Salem and Bellamy I dodged gestational diabetes. With this baby I'm borderline gestational diabetes. I didn't test positive, but when I did my 2-hour test I tested right at the cutoff, which is 8.9, but I got 8.8. And so my doctor's like, yeah, just watch your refined sugars and your natural sugars. I know it's hard with kids and they're eating fruits and stuff. And I'm like, oh yes, it's very hard because they do love strawberries and stuff like that. But I found that after Bellamy and I was breastfeeding, I gained a little bit of a sugar addiction and I struggle with that still. And so I'm trying to keep this baby, I'm trying to keep the sugar down, but you know, like I told you guys earlier in the video, mini eggs. And so I'm trying, okay, I'm trying. I don't know how successful I'm being, but I'm trying. She moves a lot. I can tell that she's gonna be very special. Very special. Oh, she just kicked me when I said that. See? Very special. But she definitely gave me a little bit of a harder time than the other two. I didn't have as many food aversions, but I couldn't keep anything down. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. With this baby, with the first two, I didn't have to like take medication. I kind of just soldiered it out when I was not feeling well. But with her, I literally was like living off gravel this pregnancy. My doctor was like, oh, do you want Declectin or whatever it's called? And I was like, no, it's okay. But I'm wondering if I should have taken it because with the gravel, I found that one, it made me mad tired, so I would knock out if I took one. But two, it made me eat more because then I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna throw up. So let me eat a little bit more. Let me enjoy this food. But yeah, I can't eat much because my mom said my tummy is not as big as I think it is. So it's a really nice tummy actually. I'm looking at it now. My tummy's very cute. But I feel like when I step on a scale or when I go to the doctor and they tell me, oh, you gained 5 pounds between this point but in your last appointment, girl. I said, it's been 2 weeks. How you gaining 5 pounds in 2 weeks? But I have to keep in mind that my placenta, even with Belle, was humongous. It was like literally the same weight as Belle was. So the reason the baby is coming earlier than my actual due date is because my first baby was 8.5 and my second baby was 9.9. My doctor was like, oh, at 38 weeks, I'm gonna give you a sweep. So when she does a sweep, I'm just gonna get my back blown out and then the baby will come. That's what I did with Belle. Like when I was pregnant with Belle, I got a sweep done. I did the baby dance again, and the fluids help to soften the cervix, and if you're already starting to dilate, it should send you into labor. That was a trick I used with Belle. It worked like a gem. I was in labor within the next 7 hours. And so with this baby, I'm hoping it works again because she's sweeping me at 38 weeks to get the labor started. So we're looking more towards the first week of March versus mid-March. That being said, I guess I'll move into life update because this morning was a little odd. And so I want to share a few things with you. My situation is it's not unique. My situation is just my situation, right? And so people wake up and choose violence. That's how I put it. People wake up and choose violence, and I'm just like, Mary's had a little lamb over here. I'm minding my business. I don't know why people can't just mind theirs. So I just want to read you guys a few things. Follow me on TikTok. if I remember. Oh, so I actually just joined TikTok, so I'll put it in the description box if I remember, child. Y'all can go follow me on there. I posted these nails. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I posted these nails on there or whatever. Anyway, one of the very first comments I got was, oh, very nice or very cute, something like this. I'm going off of memory. Very cute, but I see your wedding rings. Are you still with that cheating POS? And so I'm like, am I not human? No, so I see this comment and I didn't respond to it. I just deleted it because I'm just like, you came here for the nails, ma'am. Why are you worrying about my business? So I go to her TikTok and I see that she has a child, and quite frankly, she has other things to worry about, because if you are fatter than me and I'm pregnant and you are a single parent, those are the things you should be worrying about: bettering yourself and your health and minding your own child. I don't feel like you should wake up and choose violence and ask me about my partner versus worrying about what you got going on in your own house. You know what I mean? And so, of course, it didn't end there today because, you know, everybody else is just so perfect. So I thought I had actually changed my Snapchat settings so that not anybody and everybody can message me. But apparently no. I got a message on Snapchat today. Yesterday I had posted a picture of my tummy, which it's not my fault if you ain't up to date on the news, honey. It's really not my fault. So I had posted a screenshot of my tummy and somebody had replied to it saying, but it's the mere fact that you had a smear campaign for Jacob on Instagram. I had to stop her right there. I didn't do a smear campaign. All I did was, first of all, I was blacked out because, as you know, I'm very private about my life. Always have been. Have never ever divulged information about my relationship, whatever's going on, in the public. That's never been my thing. I post my story times, I post my whatever the hell it was on YouTube and go about my business. I've never been a lifestyle channel. I've never been a family channel. I've never been anything like that. So when I was going through what I was going through, I never posted a smear campaign, ever. I, in fact, said the opposite. Do not do what you're doing, because a lot of people were obviously calling his work and doing the most that I did not request, posting videos about it, XYZ. And I was saying, don't need it, don't want it. That's not where I'm at. And I don't want this. So nobody posted a smear campaign. That was the first thing. But okay, Snapchat, I think she meant on, hinting every chance you get that you have another seed coming. And I'm like, hinting? The picture that I posted was, I don't think this is a hint, guys. I don't think this is a hint. This is full blown, I'm pregnant. And I had already announced on YouTube that I'm pregnant and how it kind of came about. But I'm just like, people just talk to talk, you know. Anyway, you don't stop, breed up all these government kids for him so that he would never leave you. And so this is the part I'm like, nobody knows what happened before, what happened after. Nobody knows what happened during. Only we know that. And the fact of the matter is, in January, I left. Okay, this is before. Okay, I left and was okay with leaving. See, I'm not Tara, and I don't believe in staying for the kids because it doesn't work. You know, you don't stay for the kids. I mean, they're obviously a part of the deal, but if you are in a relationship and you go through infidelity or you go through anything like that and you decide, I'm going to stay because of the kids, it's not going to work, because the kids are not where the problem lies. That's not the issue, right? You can't stay for the kids. And I have no problem with being a single parent, because fact of the matter is, when this happened, and I'm being super duper candid, when this happened, I was going to move to Alberta. I was going to take my 2 kids and move all the way to Alberta. I don't have a problem with leaving my husband, but things don't work out the way that I plan them. Things work out the way God plans them. So monkey wrench here, monkey wrench there. It is what it is. That is really nobody's business. But I feel like sometimes people need to pick at other people so that they feel better about their situations, but y'all gotta let that hurt go. See, I'm not hurting, so I can talk about this. I'm not hurting, so I can have another baby. Did it take long to get to this point? Of course it did. But that's between me and God and my spouse. That has nothing to do with anybody. And I realized a long time ago that this is partially my fault, because I should have never have put what I put on Front Street. I only did it because I wasn't in the right mind frame. You know, you're not gonna be in the situation like that. Anyway, secondly, I began more damn money from the government if I was not married. So this makes absolutely no sense. Like, you get more money if you're single versus if you are married. So if I was having government kids, whatever that means, like, anyway. Just because you go through stuff in a relationship, especially in a marriage, and that's the thing too, like, people are giving unsolicited opinions, but they're not even married. They haven't been married. If you've never been married, if you've never gone through what I have gone through, then your opinion is invalid. Even if you have gone through it, it's still invalid because it has nothing to do with you. So it's like, you know, mind the business that pays you. It's literally $0 to be kind. But like I said, people like to project. So if you were in a situation where your situation didn't work out, and then you turn around and you look at me like, oh my God, they had all this drama, but somehow managed to get over that. Well, I'd be mad too, honey. She said, worthless. You don't do shit but fuck and kids and play with nails. And I'm just like, don't let the enemy use you to spew hate, because this is crazy to say something like this to somebody. Half of it doesn't even make sense. I just have to bless her. So when I replied to it, I wasn't even upset with her. When I read it, I was just like, God bless you, child. I sent her a message, but like, I wasn't like an old Bo child. This Bo that does meditation, this Bo that wakes up in the morning and prays, this Bo that is thankful to God for getting me through my messes every single time from the time I was born until today. This Bo that's enlightened and awakened can read that and not allow it to affect my whole day, not allow it to make me feel like however they're feeling. Because see, if she wasn't feeling so I guess crappy about whatever it is she's going through, you know, it doesn't even have to be a relationship problem, it could just be life in general. If she wasn't feeling that way, or if she wasn't in a negative headspace, she would never ever send me a message like that. Like, you have to be in a dark place to send something dark. And sometimes you don't even know that you're in a dark place. And so that could just be her situation. And she's projecting. And so, you know, if you find yourself in a situation like mine, please don't find yourself in a situation like mine. No. If you find yourself in a situation like mine, you're married, you know, you guys go through this phase of, are we going to be together? Are we not going to be together? I hate you, because it was like that. Like, we hated each other, which is part of the reason it led up to that. There was no relationship. There was no intimacy. There was nothing. There's so many layers to our personal situation. And, you know, I talk to God a lot, and I'm just like, God, I told you, I don't want nobody in my business. That's why I really scaled back from uploading anything, because it's like, now that it's out there, well, you get to see how God works in my life, but like, now that all of that stuff is out there, Shooter don't know no damn peace. And sometimes I laugh about we laugh at it together, but like, Shooter he doesn't know peace. He can't even post freaking sushi on his page without it being some kind of person coming at him sideways. And I can't post just being happy in life without somebody coming at me sideways, because now I'm every clown in the book and now he's a cheating, lying bastard. But at the end of the day, it's like, y'all don't know us. Like, you guys weren't there when he almost died. You guys weren't there when he almost died again. You guys weren't there when I was carrying somebody's gun in my purse. Like, you guys weren't there for any of that. So you guys don't get to dictate and lend your opinions about what's going on and, you know, all that kind of stuff. If two grown adults decide, you know what, I don't really hate you and we're bigger than this, and this is what we're gonna do, this is how we move forward, this is counseling, this is that, then that's just what it is. Like, I see when even like somebody like Dara and Ken, well, they got drama. They're not married, but they got their drama. And it's like everybody kind of lends these opinions about their relationship. And it's like, how is everybody so busy focused on what's going on in their stuff and not their own stuff? You have to stop doing that. Like, you literally have to take that mask off and focus on yourself and be like, and do self-reflecting and find out why you're stuck where you are, or why you are even able to pick up your phone and say anything to anybody that's out of line or out of pocket. People that you don't know, people that you would never even approach like that. Like, this person would never see me at the mall with my family or alone and come up to me and say not even half of that. They'd be like, oh my God, you're Bo. And I'd be like, I am. So that's why I honestly just thank God, because I can take stuff like this with a grain of salt. Especially, well, if they had kept up and they saw the video, my last story time, and they knew what was going on, I wouldn't have even have thought that, because in that story time I shared that I struggled with whether or not I was even going to have this baby. Whew, and that's the hardest thing for me still, because I can't even believe that I contemplated that. And it's not like I contemplated it like the first, like beforehand, and then that was it. No, all the way up until like 4 months, 5 months, I was still struggling with the idea and unsure. And so it took a lot of meditating, prayer, took a lot of everything to get to this place of peace. And can't nobody steal my joy. Like, y'all not about to do me. Y'all are not about to do me. People make mistakes. I made a mistake. He made a mistake. People make mistakes. We're human, you know? And so the same level of grace that was extended to me from God is the same level of grace I've extended to everybody that's hurt me. The amount of people that I have spoken to since my spiritual journey started that I was not speaking to is crazy. And it's like, it's not even to continue relationships with those people or what. It's just a growing thing and a growth process. And if this is my story, then this is what my story is. I was so ashamed and so confused for months. I couldn't even wrap my own head around my marriage, my pregnancy. Like, I couldn't do it. And only because I sat there and prayed every day and allowed God to really just lead is the only reason I can stand here today and say, enough. Like, it is what it is. I'm not the first person or first woman that has gone through this. It's just easier for people to target somebody like me because they, one, feel obligated to my business, but they also feel like if I stayed with my partner after something like that, then I'm lesser than. But that's never the case. It's never the case, because that person, those people are sitting at home watching me in a Bratz bucket hat right now, rolling their eyes. Like, thank you. I really don't know. And so I really have gotten to a place where when people try me the way the people have tried me today, because that's probably 2 out of maybe 4 rotten messages that I read today. I mean, it's nonstop and I don't expect it to really ever stop, but this is just what it is. This is my life, not anybody else's, and nobody's writing my story. My story's already written, okay? So I'm gonna walk it, okay? Now, should something like that happen again, I'm not, it's a done deal for me. And obviously it's like, okay, you said that the last time, but to me, I know that this is an isolated situation. And so I can say that I'm not dealing with that a second time. That's crazy. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You know what I mean? And so I couldn't do it a second time. Definitely not. But I think that there are plenty of couples that go through stuff like this that keep it quiet because people message me after the fact, stating that they're in similar situations and what am I doing to kind of get through it. And I'm just like, well, every situation is different. You go where God leads you. You can't force things. You can't change the inevitable. Like, you have to just let nature take its course. And really, what this situation actually helped do was bring up things that were buried. It helped bring them to the surface and allowed us to be able to deal with those issues, because those were truly the things that were wrong, you know? So yeah. I knew that this time around it wouldn't be the easiest thing to carry. And there were some days that I woke up and it was just like, am I really doing this? Is this really happening to me? God, what is this? This is ghetto. I don't like it. But he would always just reassure me that it's gonna be okay. Never would have made it why I titled this video is because that song, it just speaks to every situation. And it's really how I feel. Like, I literally never would have made it if God weren't right here beside me all day, every day. Okay, he is moving moving in my life like never before. And I'm just super grateful that I found him when I did, because this would be a completely different video if I hadn't, you know? So that's where we're at with this. You don't have to like it. It doesn't do anything for you to like it. So it's like, why am I gonna like it? You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You know, you can be, you know, miserable in your own corner, but I'm not joining anybody in their misery. And that's what I let this lovely person know today. I will not be joining you in your misery. So you can say what you want to say, but I'm just not doing it. That goes for anybody that feels any kind of way about my life. Like, if it ain't making you money, leave it alone. Like, why would you bother? Why would you waste your energy typing something out to somebody that it doesn't affect me one way or the other? You know what I mean? It's not going to put money in my pocket. It's not going to put money in your pocket for sure. Matter of fact, it's going to keep money out your pocket, because God don't like you talking down to me, honey. Okay, he don't like ugly. So as long as you're being ugly to me, your bank account's going to be ugly. And that's not my business. It's between you and the good Lord above, okay? Excuse me. Other than that, it got dark outside real quick. Life is peachy, you know. You take it day by day. And one thing I will say, it's not easy to navigate a relationship after something like that happens. But if you can get through something like that, your relationship's never going to be the same. And that's neither a good thing nor a bad thing, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing. By the grace of God, I don't have trust issues. Like, I'm not like desperate to go through his phone. And no, like, everybody deals with stuff differently, and I'm just not into that. What I will say is that you just never say never, because I definitely was somebody who, especially like watching Love and Hip Hop and like, you know, doing Botox and stuff, depending on the situation. I mean, if this was a situation where he's a serial cheater and I'm coming home and finding finding earrings that don't belong to me in my carpet or stuff like that, like, that's completely different. I feel like if somebody's gonna do that to you constantly, yeah, obviously you have to choose yourself at some point. But if your person can take accountability and your person is willing to do the work and you're willing to do the work, then do what you need to do. You know what I mean? Nobody's opinion should matter to you. Your family might not like it, your friends might not like it, yeah, people that don't know you might not like it, but it's literally between you and God. Last year was tough for me. I was seriously under attack. Like, I don't think you guys understand. If you're not spiritual, if you're not tapped in, you're not gonna get what I'm saying. But I was seriously under attack. It was like, it wasn't even just about the baby, it was about me. Jezebel was there. Jezebel was definitely in my ear, and so was the enemy, and just pushing me to do the unthinkable. Luckily, I'm a prayer warrior, so I can get through stuff like that. But even this morning, like, to me, the messages that I received this morning was just more of the attacks, because I've been trying to film for I blow dried my hair literally like a week and a half ago to film the day after I blow dried it, and I haven't been able to film this video because I want to do a pregnancy update and a baby update and just film in general, and I haven't been able to get to my camera. But today was the day. I did one hand and I said I will film and then I'll go and do this hand today or tomorrow. It seems like whenever I'm going to put out any kind of content, that's when I am getting attacked by the enemy and his minions. And so he will send people to deliver messages to me through Snapchat, through Instagram, through TikTok now. Like, I mean, I'm hard to reach these days, but if you go through the right channels, obviously you can. And it's really just put there to discourage me to not share what God is doing in my life, and it never works. So I don't know why he just don't give up. Like, it just doesn't work. Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys that update, share a little bit, you know, encourage you guys, and especially I want to talk about this especially because today is actually the Bell Let's Talk day. You really don't know what people are going through, and had this message come in on one of my down days last year when I'm literally contemplating my own life, it could have been a completely different experience, you know. It could have pushed me over the edge. I'm just not there, you know. I just have peace, and so I wanted to extend that to you and share that with you guys so that you guys can find peace too. You know, I ain't gotta be the only person with peace out here in these streets, you know. I wish you guys well. I bless you all. And if you need prayer, I'm your girl. So I love you all so much, and I will definitely see you in the next one.